Just so people feel bad about their lives, give me a figure यार. High net worth में कौन है और क्या point पे आता है?
It's a very बहुत subjective term होता है. HNI normally कुछ 3-4 1 करोड़ के ऊपर बोलते हैं HNI. 1 2 3 4 5 करोड़.
1 करोड़ की कमाई, 1 करोड़ की बजट.
बजट लेके अगर कोई हम लोग मैं पर्सनली क्लासिफाई करता हूँ अगर 5 करोड़ तक का है देन दैट्स एन HNI.
Okay.
High net worth individual.
So 1 to 5 basically.
1 to 5.
Got it. Okay.
10, 12, 20, 25 करोड़, 50 करोड़, they are ultra HNI.
Stop it. You're hurting my people in IBM. 50 करोड़ ये क्या है? Fiction, I guess. In 2011, people were using the online platforms.
कम थे. बहुत कम थे पर यूज कर रहे थे लोग.
I would think it's such a personal thing ना कि flat buying that you have to experience it and all that.
But the initial contact.
The initial contact, correct.
They want to know who, they want to just go over there and find out. So
you must be one of the first guys to do this.
I have been first in a lot of, not to brag, but I have been first.
अब तो late हो गया. कह दिया. Sir, please don't brag like this, यार.
But I've been first in a lot of the things that I have done in this real estate.
In bed?
You are stumping me a lot. I like it. YouTube was something which I started off with, and then progressed to Instagram. But I had no idea about editing. I had no idea about shooting. कुछ नहीं पता था.
All the successes on Insta and YouTube are guys who have no idea. I realize that all the ones with ideas like us, useless. Waste of time. We should be cancelled immediately.
I forgot what I was saying. क्या बोल क्या रहा था मैं?
Yeah, sir, we'd have to see the tapes. नहीं तो वो तो क्वेश्चन भी नहीं था. अगर पैसा है तो you buy. When I was growing up, everybody was trying to buy flats. Yaar. They would take loans, they would sell their relatives, everything. I mean, come on, this is true. Yeah, outside guys, the aim was, the guys come somewhere from north. His only aim is I have to own a flat at some point. Yes or no?
Correct.
That was there. Okay, Cyrus says we have a wonderful guest, and this guest, you think normally that selling property is a bit of a dry business and not something that you become a celebrity out of, but he's got some 8 lakh followers. Ravi Kewalramani, 8 lakh plus followers on Insta, which means he's like 8 times our followers, and about 3.5 lakh or something on YouTube?
Just around 340.
And I was watching the videos. It's quite entertaining and interesting, and it's a whole new world. I mean, no one thought how the internet has changed everything, that, this becomes like a glamour profession now. By the way, my mother used to be a broker for a little while when we were younger and struggling. And I remember all those days they would go to houses, show them. It's a lot of hard work, trying to talk to people, trying to sell the same product to 200 people, etc. And so I have a lot of time for what it must have been initially. But I hear your story is very interesting. Before we start, I talk a lot. So in between, if you want to say anything, please do.
Sure.
I have a problem which I want you to help me with because you're already now famous in this line. We have this one property in Malabar Hill. You're familiar with Malabar Hill, no? So there's a building called Sunita.
Okay.
Then opposite it, there's the WIA Club or Malabar Hill Club.
Okay.
And opposite that, as you enter the lane, is a house which is used by some guy called Shinde. क्या पूरा नाम क्या है? I can't remember. This guy already got a house called Varsha. तो ये दूसरा हाउस का क्या जरूरत है? What happens is his followers come on Saturday, Sunday and stand outside and cause traffic jams. So is it possible for you to sell that house quietly in the night when he's not there?
I think
Please, Ravi, help me.
I think if I try to help you, then I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So I think it would be best if I skip that. I'm very selective. I must have seen that also. I'm very selective with the people I work with also. And I reject a lot of them. So maybe this might go in the rejection pool.
Fair enough. But I'm only asking because there must be some political people who have approached you and all, or, the family of the politician or whatever. So you've dealt with all kinds of people.
Correct.
In fact, we'll start with the beginning of your story also, but just before that, there's a whole, in the biodata that we were going through, there's this high network, ultra high network. Can you explain the categories?
HNI is high net worth individuals and ultra HNIs are ultra high.
Just so people feel bad about their lives, give me a figure, yaar. High net worth में कौन है और क्या point पे आता है?
It's a very बहुत subjective term होता है. HNI normally कुछ 3-4 1 करोड़ के ऊपर बोलते हैं HNI. 1 2 3 4 5 करोड़.
1 करोड़ की कमाई, 1 करोड़ की बजट.
बजट लेके अगर कोई हम लोग मैं पर्सनली क्लासिफाई करता हूँ अगर 5 करोड़ तक का है देन दैट्स एन HNI.
Okay.
High net worth
So
individual.
1 to 5 basically.
1 to 5.
Got it. Okay.
10, 12, 20, 25 crore, 50 crore, they are ultra
Stop
HNIs.
it. You're hurting my people in IBM. 50 crore, ye kya hai? Fiction, I guess.
नहीं, but the properties that I usually deal with उतने ही range में होते हैं कि मेरा original operation अंधेरी to बैंड्रा था. Then उसके बाद में South Mumbai गए and then we've gone to the northern suburbs, गोवा गए, अभी दुबई गए, तो उधर सब properties, मतलब दुबई में तो 1.5 crore से studio apartment चालू होता है.
Wow.
And
No, we'll go through all this because it's very interesting, specific information which we want to get out of you also. Jitna time, please take the it's a
No.
client.
No.
50 crore का है तो please ले लो यार.
नहीं sir, आप बहुत important
You
हो
can
गए.
sponsor our podcast after that also with the same guy's money. Let's go back to the beginning. I think it's a bit of first, how do you pronounce it? Realtor or realtor? I was fighting with a guy in the gym in the morning.
Realtor.
Realtor is the actual term in English. Realtor. Hey, bolna, Bihari. Realtor. That Sparsh is just, we make fun. We love everybody. It's a very secular show. You don't say anything, Ravi, because you're politely very correct. Just let's go back. It's a family business also to some extent.
Yes. My dad was the one who, my dad was actually an investor. He used to invest with developers back in the 80s and 90s.
Wow.
And up till his death in 2009, he used to invest with developers.
Okay.
And once the...
But invest, matlab, so you own buildings?
No. इंडिविजुअल अपार्टमेंट में डैड इन्वेस्ट करते तो पहले टाइम पे बिल्डर्स को ब्याज पे पैसा देते थे ऑन इंटरेस्ट एंड देन ही यूज्ड टू टेक कोलैटरल एज अपार्टमेंट्स सो either the developer would pay the money back or he would say sell the flat and recover your money. So that's how my dad started. Back in
but he would sell the flat at a higher rate also because most of these flats would go up. It's a great business.
Yeah, so he used to pretty much double the money back then. But that time the quantum was less. It was 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 5 lakh rupees में flats मिलते थे. Then later on, at later stages in the post 2000s, he used to invest in under construction. Developer के साथ pre-launches में जाते थे. And then building जब बनता था तभी बेचते थे. And वही developer के साथ या किसी और developer के साथ वो पैसा reinvest करते थे.
Wow, this sounds very interesting.
The principal, he used to keep the principal separate, use that again to reinvest with the developer, and then whatever was the additional money, he used to invest in other places, in maybe mutual funds or somewhere else, and grow that money also.
Okay. So you actually moved out then with the money and went into financial
the profits he used to take partially part of the profits he used to invest in other things. I remember he used to invest.
So this is not a brokerage firm. This is what?
That was my dad.
Huh. So
when my dad
this
passed
is more like
away,
a business.
This was my dad's trading
Fair
करते
enough.
थे. After my dad passed away, I was in the US. तो और मेरे को 10
वहाँ
साल
पे क्या normal graduate at normal economics or something?
नहीं no economics. I was a graduate gemologist over there. GI करके एक school था.
Gemologist मतलब diamonds?
हाँ.
Wow, this guy's got money, yaar. I mean, he left diamonds to get into. Okay, you tell the story.
So तभी
ये कैसा? Is that also part of the family?
No, that was my decision. That was my decision. मैं NM कॉलेज में पढ़ता था 97 में तो उधर मैं
DiCaprio पिक्चर भी थी ना? What was that picture?
Blood diamonds, yeah. Blood diamonds. So that was a big deal at that point of time. But after dad passed away, when I moved back over here, तो मैंने सोचा कि मैं ये इन्वेस्टमेंट तो कर नहीं सकता और ज्वेलरी का बिजनेस खोलूंगा तो उसमें बहुत कैपिटल इंटेंसिव था तो आई डोंट वांट टू ब्लॉक ऑल द मनी ओवर देयर. So
But you went to study the jewelry business.
किया 10 साल किया भी मैंने वो.
वहाँ पे यहाँ पे.
उधर US में. उधर खुद का दुकान था उधर बैठ के.
Because they don't understand jewelry. You can sell anything.
No, they are actually very educated over there also. But when I moved back, I decided to go into brokerage because I thought time is what I have.
Wow. So this is a decision you made already mid-career, huh?
Yeah, I was 32, 33 that
It's
time.
a very good piece of information for people listening because many people feel like failures at 32, 33. And you actually reinvented yourself at 33 into another business and done really well. So don't feel bad except IVM employees because I don't know what to tell you guys here. There's no hope for them here.
I'm sure there is some hope for them.
नहीं अगर बिल्डिंग का वॉचमैन का ड्यूटी का काम है तो प्लीज इफ यू कैन पुट इन अ गुड वर्ड इन वन ऑफ द
नहीं पापा, if you're looking for jobs, I'm always hiring.
Really don't say that. you won't leave. CV पे CV आएगा तेरी गाड़ी में भाई.
चलेगा.
All right. So Jamal is very interesting. We didn't have this in the biodata. You had that thing. You worked there for some time. I presume successfully. You cannot stay in America without earning some money. It's not possible. And then the tragic situation, whatever, you come back home and you decide to get into the
brokerage part. For 4 months, I didn't do anything. I had to decide what I wanted to do. And eventually, I said, I'm going to do brokerage. फिर brokerage किया, फिर वही किया 10 साल से. फिर 2011 से बस वही कर रहा था. 2009 my father passed away. 2009 से 2011 was a transition period for me. फिर 2011 से बस यही brokerage ही कर रहा हूँ मैं.
Were you married at the time?
No.
That's important because that would be a headache.
Yeah.
Wife will be asking, अभी क्या करते हैं काम के लिए? Every day you come
हाँ,
back.
तो जब मेरी शादी हो रही थी तो मेरे ससुर ने मेरे से मांगा था तेरा पिछले 1 साल में कितना पैसा कमाया है.
Seriously?
हाँ, तो लिख के
Straight
दिया
up?
था. हाँ, straight away.
In a way that's good, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Get out of the way. हाँ.
तो मैंने बना के दे दिया. This is how much I made.
हाँ. But you're just writing it down, sir. You have to see the income tax statements and all that.
क्या इनकम टैक्स?
मेरा father ने पूछता था बराबर.
अगर इनकम टैक्स मांगता तो मैं बोलता एक काम कर, तू तेरी बेटी को रख.
Boss, I can't take this back. सोच के बोल.
चलेगा. अभी 9 साल हो गया शादी को. अभी किधर नहीं जाने वाले हम लोग.
Because you're making good money, ना. वो जो फिगर था वो कुछ नहीं है भाई. 2011 की बात अलग है. Look where we've come. So then you decided to become a not proper, what is the right word? Conventional broker.
रियल एस्टेट एजेंट.
Real estate agent.
देयर वाज अ लिटिल डिफरेंस बिकॉज मैं यूएस में भी रियल एस्टेट देखता था. डैड के साथ घूमता था, प्रॉपर्टीज देखते थे, एंड रियल एस्टेट अपने ब्लड में ही चलता था. इट वाज इन द.
But why didn't you want to go dad's way? This whole business thing about the transaction in lieu of I'll get the flat,
लूट
I'll
लेते
sell.
थे मेरे को. बिल्डर्स लोग लूट लेते थे. आई वाज अ यंग किड, हैड नो आइडिया. इफ आई वुड हैव पुट दैट मनी एंड इन्वेस्टेड, आई वुड हैव लॉस्ट एवरीथिंग. तो आई थॉट एटलीस्ट लेट मी अंडरस्टैंड द बिजनेस, एंड द बेस्ट वे टू अंडरस्टैंड अ रियल एस्टेट बिजनेस टू ब्रोकरेज, बिकॉज यू आर डीलिंग विद बायर्स, सेलर्स,
Yeah.
developers. You're dealing with all lives of people.
So you started doing the normal conventional brokerage, and let's take you back to 2011. So what would you sell initially? What were the kind of flats? You said you began in Andheri area. For those who are outside Mumbai, it's a slightly localized situation, but it will make sense as we talk about it, because each suburb of Mumbai or each area of Mumbai is a totally different story.
Correct.
Which you have to learn also, I presume.
So, no, पता था मेरा कॉलेज, NM कॉलेज. My school.
Very good canteen.
Very nice. It was very nice.
Education okay.
St. Xavier's High School is what Pilepar
Vada
में
pav
best.
best.
तो उधर ही you know everything, man. तो उधर ही मैं बैठ के मतलब I used to roam around over here only, and कॉलेज में MM के जाते थे. We used to go to all of those places.
33-year-old guy walking around NM and St. Xavier's school and all this, yaar, it's a little scary.
No, not
young 15-year-old, 16-year-old girls going to college?
अरे बाबा, I went at that age. That was the college and school that I had gone to, so I was aware of the location.
I'm just kidding, Ravi. Don't explain. Ravi began by saying he's a fan, no longer.
I'm
took us 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah.
Still a fan. So I was familiar with the area. My residence was in Juhu, and I was born in Andheri only. तो area और location सब मेरे को पहले से ही पता था. I started talking to family, friends. I told them this is what I'm looking at. I'm planning to do. And then luck was in favor. The first year itself, I was pretty successful in doing what I was doing. I had knowledge of marketing. So I used to put a lot of properties on the those online platforms. At that point of time, they were pretty prominent. They were
in 2011 people were using the online platforms.
कम थे, बहुत कम थे, पर यूज कर रहे थे लोग.
I would think it's such a personal thing, na, कि flat buying, that you have to experience it and all that.
But the initial contact.
The initial contact, correct.
They want to know who, they want to just go over there and find out. So
you must be one of the first guys to do this.
I have been first in a lot of, not to brag, but I have been first.
अब तो late हो गया. कह दिया. Sir, please don't brag like this, yaar.
But I've been first in a lot of the things that I have done in this real estate.
In bed?
You are stumping me a lot. I like it.
Let's get back. So first in?
तो ऑनलाइन में जाता था उधर. I used to pick the properties of the owners who used to be there, and I used to talk to them and then showcase that property to the clients who used to come to me. And I used to advertise heavily on Just Dial, on Magic Bricks, 99 Acres. There used to be a website.
Magic Bricks, 99 Acres, I remember. Are they still there?
Yeah, they're there.
They used to advertise. God, you're making me feel nostalgic. 10-15 साल पहले they were very big on the television, very big on the internet.
Still very big.
Yeah.
They're still very big.
Okay.
तो उधर से मैंने चालू किया. And then the first year I was pretty successful with that. One difference was, I think a lot of people, when they used to come and meet up, I was a different individual talking in English, and I used to dress nice. So there was a little camaraderie. They used to say, we'd rather work with you than go and work with other brokers. So they used to be like, Ravi, ये property है, आप जाके दिखा के आओ मेरे को.
So what you're saying is that just the glam look and all helped a little bit?
No, the glam look, the communication skills, how I used to understand what they're looking for. Yeah. I wouldn't show them 25 properties, ये भी देखो, ये भी देखो, ये भी देखो. तो वैसा नहीं होता था. I used to just very selectively choose 5 to 8 properties, and I used to talk to them in detail, and I used to tell them, what is it that you're looking for? Then after listening to them 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes over a phone call, then I used to propose the properties to them. So usually 5, 6, 7 दिखा था तो उसमें ही वो लोग एक close कर देते हैं. Whether it's rental or purchase.
I remember when we were trying to find a place, my wife wanted to move out at that point. She didn't like the in-laws, and I also didn't like the in-laws, but that's two different sets. But to cut a long story short, they always show you 20. And you sort of get tired. Physically, I'm saying. I don't know if there's a line which, a mathematical line that do this much. Uske baad, utility nahi hai usme. And you don't go beyond it. But I do think that if they show you 10 flats, by the third or fourth flat, a lot of people are just not paying attention. It's very difficult.
It's energy consuming.
Yeah.
You have to go, you have to see. Mentally, it's very draining for a lot of people. Plus...
and confusing because now you don't know what you want also.
हाँ वो भी होता है बट देन उसमें फिर क्लाइंट को बोलना पड़ता है ना कि यू हैव टू सी व्हाट आर योर डील ब्रेकर्स देयर आर सम पीपल विल बी लाइक आई एम ओके टू गो अप टू अ फर्स्ट फ्लोर विदाउट एन एलिवेटर एंड सम पीपल विल बी लाइक एन एलिवेटर इज आई नीड इट
Baba, I want elevator, yeah. This is nonsense.
नो बट आई सी देयर आर यंग कपल्स
But they aren't young forever.
Yeah, but for the rental...
Maybe he's being positive that they'll divorce in 3 years. So he doesn't have to... while he's young, he can walk, uske baad jaane do. I can see that positivity, yeah.
So yeah... I'm losing my train of thoughts only. I completely lost what I was saying.
We are going in chronology, so उसमें कुछ tension नहीं है. We are going back to the fact.
Good, you are there to direct this conversation because I would be like, go on.
No, so 2011 you started making these sales. You're trying to be humble about it. But the fact is you stood out because maybe America helped.
Yes, very much so.
Their salesmanship is very over the top in the sense that they dress flamboyantly or whatever. They make sure that maybe the person feels that I'm with a better guy.
मैं गाड़ी में भी आता था दूसरे लोग मोटरसाइकिल पे आते थे मैं एक
किसकी गाड़ी
मेरी खुद की
आप खुद की तो फैंटास्टिक
i20 थी मेरे को तो उसमें आता था तो दैट आल्सो यूज्ड टू मेक एन इम्पैक्ट कह रहे ये ब्रोकर गाड़ी में आ रहा है ही मस्ट बी डूइंग वेल सो हालांकि मेरा फर्स्ट ईयर था तो दैट मे बी क्रिएटेड एन इम्प्रेशन
and sorry to ask this question but back in it was 2%. Was it still 2%?
No, so developers pay you 2%.
Right.
Individual like resale, if you want to buy a resale property, then it's 1%.
It's 1%. So let's explain that to the person listening. So if I sell a property for 1 crore and you have done the sale, how much will you get as the broker?
1 lakh.
1 lakh.
Plus GST.
But if it's the developer selling it?
Then developer will pay me 2%, 2 lakhs. And I don't take anything from the buyer.
Oh, okay.
So in a primary market जो बोलते हैं developer से अगर खरीदा आपने तो
but that rate is less, no, for the flat.
What is rate?
When you buy it from the developer and you take the thing, it's a cheaper sale.
No, not necessarily. It's not necessary. The developer say if he's quoting 1.1 crore, we negotiate with the buyer and we close the deal at say 1 crore. Then the developer will pay me 2%.
Oh,
and I don't take any commissions from the buyer.
Got it. So
bottom line 2% आना चाहिए.
Okay. So what is the normal? Do you sell more direct to the client or you sell more with the builder involved?
Both ways. So we do primary market भी करते हैं हम लोग, resale का भी करते हैं, commercial भी करते हैं, residential भी करते हैं, leasing भी करते हैं. We do everything.
Okay. So let's now go back to 2011. So you started going on the internet. Most of the people were not really using it. The advertising was there, the sites were there, Magic Bricks, etc. But they were not using it because people were not comfortable using it yet. When did the movement start going the other way? You said very less at 2011.
Gradually.
But you decided to stay with this internet information thing.
Yeah. So it's the first point, where are you supposed to go first? मेरे को बहुत सारे agents लोग जो नए पूछते हैं कि हम लोग कहाँ से start करें. It's a good starting point. Where you get the properties, you get the clients also over there. And you can keep working and start off somewhere over there. So coming to your question, how did it went from 2011, it went to... और एक और चीज़ था, मैं US में था ना तो ये 99 acres उधर बहुत...
Same brand?
हाँ उधर एडवर्टाइज करते थे
बिकॉज़ सोचे कि फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कंट्री में 100 एकड़ तक जाएगा ना.
नहीं उधर भी 99 पे था, सेंचुरी नहीं किया उन्होंने उधर
99 पे आउट.
So they used to advertise in the NRI market over there. There used to be also something called Sulekha.com that time. That also used to be very popular in the US. So वो सब चीज़ों से मेरे को अवेयरनेस आया था. And they used to target the NRI. So 2011 से चालू हुआ, it went to I think 13, 14, 15 तक. It kind of picked up a lot and it was a platform where whether you are a buyer or a seller or a broker, you had to be present over there. Now it is, now I personally don't think it's as relevant as before, but they still are pretty prominent.
But you made it into, I mean, we're quite stunned actually when we started researching this. You made it into as like you become a celebrity. So honestly, the way I don't know whether it's purposely done or whatever, but it just happened. You've got this huge following now. People look at it, and the fact is they want you because it's almost Seema Didi ke jaisa. The famous wedding, what's the
Matchmaker.
Word? Matchmaker. So, ultimately, whether you like it or not, she became really big.
Yes.
So, so this investment in the internet, I know.
I'm matching the
I know,
buyer
I know.
and the seller
I know, as
together.
I said it, I didn't mean to disrespect anyone. But
No disrespect, none
This is about
whatsoever. It is
success.
from me.
Success ka to ek hi hai yaar. It
हाँ.
doesn't make any difference. So successful person in the line, you change the game, in a sense.
That's what people tell me.
Yep, I know. It's difficult to answer, but you have. And I'm just thinking back to when we were growing up in the 80s and all, and there would be Mr. Bajaj, who's a broker, and somebody point him out to you, and exactly, dressed down, safari suit, low key personality, not talking too much, whatever. It's changed completely to someone who people are following and watching, and not necessarily interested in buying. They're just enjoying you presenting the flats. So let's come to that. How did that happen? This Insta revolution thing.
COVID. So during COVID, you could not go see, like, people weren't coming to see properties. There was a lot of panic in the real estate industry. I was also very scared. I also didn't know what to do. How is my business going to survive? How am I going to continue my father's legacy? So that point of time, I took an active decision कि चलो ठीक है, अगर लोग प्रॉपर्टीज के पास नहीं आ सकते तो मैं प्रॉपर्टीज लोगों के पास कैसे लेके जा सकता हूँ. एंड YouTube was something which I started off with, and then progressed to Instagram. But I had no idea about editing. I had no idea about shooting. कुछ नहीं पता था.
All the successes on Insta and YouTube are guys who have no idea. I realize that all the ones with ideas like us, useless. Waste of time. We should be cancelled immediately.
I forgot what I was saying though. क्या बोल क्या रहा था मैं?
Yeah, sir, we'd have to see the tapes.
तो anyways, तो
No, how you started?
How I started,
without lighting, blah, blah, blah.
तो I went and spent a lot of time on YouTube itself
to see videos.
To see how people are shooting. How people are shooting. What are the what are A rolls? What are B rolls? iMovie का मैंने एक training लिया. There was a channel, I think Media करके एक channel है on YouTube. उस वालों के पास 1.5 घंटे का एक tutorial था, free था, on how to use iMovie. तो मैंने वो use करना चालू किया. First I told my niece, she was in the US, she knew iMovies, but नहीं हो रहा था. मैं इधर बॉम्बे में, वो US में, तो नहीं हो रहा था. उसके बाद में फिर मैंने खुद shooting किया. OnePlus.
You're still alone. There's no team involved.
No. Now I have an entire team.
नहीं अब उस point पे
तभी अलग था. मैं अकेले था. No one was there. तो ये सब खुद किया था. I used to shoot all the properties myself. I did informational vlogs.
So in pandemic you were able to go to these buildings and all that? Firstly.
No, this was afterwards.
Okay.
Afterwards. तो
ये हमारे से clear भी नहीं था ना when is the pandemic on and off. But after
I think May June में जब खुला तभी मैं गया प्रॉपर्टी शूट करने के लिए. तभी मैं घर पे ही बैठ के अपनी शूट करता था. तो May 2020 में मैंने चालू किया घर पे. फिर Instagram, YouTube पे मेरे को सक्सेस मिला थोड़ा, but it was a very slow growth. Then I wanted something as a backup also, just in case कि अगर YouTube ने एक दिन बोला copyright violation shut down, तो मैं बोला एक
copyright violation?
पता नहीं. This world is very strange, some guy sitting in the back home saying.
You should have told us earlier. हम लोग भी YouTube पे हैं and we don't even have a lawyer. Now I'm worried. We are doing anything.
नहीं, but it's pretty open. तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि let me go to another platform, and Instagram is what I chose in May of 21. Because
in between that time,
May of 21, तभी TikTok ban हो रहा था कि हो गया था कि ऐसे ही कुछ था.
Right.
तो they were talking about it. तो मैंने बोला Instagram पे ही जाते हैं. And then I had some 400 followers, which was a spillover from YouTube. And they were like, kuch bhi nahi tha uddar. There was nothing over there. Then I slowly started putting content over there. I hired a graphic designer. Then I hired someone to shoot me. Then it just progressed. Like
we saw some of the videos. There's one, I think it's, let me remember the exact details. Lonavala mein hai, 25,000 square feet. First I thought I was not hearing it properly, because 25,000, and coming from Mumbai where 100 square feet is a lot for a lot of people. And then the pool, vagara, JM Vim and all that. And I was just thinking, and you shot it for it's what, 50 crores? Was it 15 crores. So I was just telling Spurs, if we sell everything, this looks like we can just stay here for the rest of our lives. It looked quite affordable.
It's a very nice house.
But you shot it in a very appealing way, in a sense, suddenly you couldn't believe that all this is there and it's not that expensive. It appears not to be. But you don't live in Lonavala, that's it.
Yeah. अभी तो उसका प्राइस और कम हो गया.
और कम हो गया? Don't tell them now, then I won't get it. So let's now get back to areas. Okay, again, this is slightly more Mumbai. You did mention Jaipur and Dubai also. So you have...
Not Jaipur, Dubai.
And anything else outside Maharashtra?
Goa.
Goa already. Are you looking at north and all that, south and all that as well?
No.
Huh?
Just I'm right now. I have my hands full with just
Also,
these
it's
territories.
Ilaka specific business, is it not? That you become famous for this area. He's the great broker for this area, etc. वो छाप भी होता है ना?
होता है वो localized होता है. Like अगर समझो कि if you're just in Bandra or you're just in a specific section of a location, then that person वो capture कर लेता है. तो originally I was known for the Santa Cruz West के. Santa Cruz के लिए RK को फोन करो, रवि भाई को फोन करो, आपका काम हो जाएगा.
God, it's like the drug market. Huh? All over the world, you have
Yeah,
your
it's a
corner.
cartel. It's a complete cartel of
Santa Cruz
Santa Cruz.
में आने सकते हैं. RK का नाम सुना है बैंड? Excuse my French. Wow, that's fun. Yeah. So Santa Cruz, Andheri, and then you started moving towards South Mumbai as well.
My primary was Juhu to Bandra. Is where I used to.
Did it all go up because of the ceiling? Bandra
the
Juhu?
what price?
The pricing? This is again a story we hear all laymen talking about. I want to know what the truth is.
नहीं ऐसा कुछ बड़ा नहीं है. इनफैक्ट वर्ली लोअर परल का डिमांड ज्यादा हुआ. इनफैक्ट a lot of the people who are staying in this Santa Cruz, Juhu and Bandra area, they all migrated over there because it's a gated community with amenities. Bandra में छोटे छोटे प्लॉट्स होते हैं, Juhu में छोटे प्लॉट्स होते हैं. नीचे जाएंगे तो कुछ amenities नहीं होता है. हालांकि अगर आप लोअर परल जाओगे या वर्ली जाओगे,
क्लब के जैसा
हाँ,
comfort है.
नीचे you have all the amenities that you want. And even in Parel area, South Mumbai में, because the land parcels were bigger, mills के जो areas थे, तो उसकी वजह से a lot of people migrated over there. I personally know my neighbor in Santa Cruz, where I have an apartment. He rented his house in Santa Cruz, a 2-bedroom, and he moved to a 3-bedroom in Worli, in Lower Parel. Rent pe.
Wow. Which is a question we should take, but we'll take it after the break. A question about rent versus buy. This has been, I mean, back in the day, it was no question of what to do when you talk about Mumbai.
What was it?
नहीं तो वो तो question भी नहीं था. अगर पैसा है तो you buy.
हाँ.
When I was growing up, everybody was trying to buy flats.
Correct.
Yaar. They would take loans. They would sell their relatives, everything. I mean, come on, this is true. Yeah, outside guys, the aim was, the guys come somewhere from north. His only aim is I have to own a flat at some point. Yes or no?
Correct.
That was there. But we'll take a break and then we'll answer this question because obviously business is business, yeah.
True.
You have to sell the business. So here's the break.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, Ashton Doctor is in conversation with the multi-talented Manisha Kelkar. She's a race car driver, actress, and TEDx speaker. Their discussion centers around how to transform a hobby into an all-consuming passion leading to global recognition. On Pop Rap, Snehil and Antariksh are joined by Mohit Raina, the star of the brand new show The Freelancer, streaming on Hotstar. Mohit shares stories from his time working on the hit mythological show Mahadev to taking up an action-packed role in The Freelancer. Folks, if you like our shows, do spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: SBI Life, IDFC First Bank, and Save Life Foundation. Thank you for making this possible.
Okay, back here with Ravi. We've given him an extended break. I think he can't believe he's stuck in this place.
Father's a funny man.
Who are you talking to? My son. No?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's your son. You
Bro,
did mention
bro,
you did
so are we.
introduce me to you.
Bro, so are we. So are we. Is Mikhail. Goes back to Canada in 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Are
What
you-
part of Canada?
It's
Am I allowed to talk to him or am I just allowed to talk
It's
to
your
you?
podcast. यार बीच में तो आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हो कोई टेंशन नहीं है. I mean potential work for you, clients for you in the sense in Canada, London, in Ontario. Yeah. Why have you?
London, and that's the name of the
So
town?
what happened to the Europeans? They don't have great imagination. They leave Europe and name everything the same.
Correct.
It's very confusing.
Same thing is in the US, no? It's Jersey, New Jersey.
Exactly.
York, New
Yeah,
York.
exactly. Now we are much better. We have 5 famous freedom fighters and 9 famous historical figures. कर देगा पूरा country.
और उसमें भी नाम बदलते रहते. पहले बॉम्बे का मुंबई कर दिया.
वो तो हो गया. हाँ, वो तो हो जाएगा वापस.
कैलकाटा को कोलकाता कर दिया.
Yeah. Don't start me off here.
Why not? Let's start, baby. Let's start. Let's go on. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. Sir has woken up now. It's Badla time. He wants to ask the questions. Yeah. So coming back to that before the break question, which is slightly controversial, it's even there in the MA, so might as well tackle it. You're here to sell flats and all that, clearly. But there are a lot of people who say that rent makes more sense now. Financially, does that or is that rubbish?
At first, I'm not here to sell anything. I just have to say this is one of, I've done only 2. You know, the first podcast was a pretty serious one.
Virginal.
Yeah. Yeah.
अब तो orgy में फंस गया. You're a freaking orgy.
So buy versus rent. It's a question that depends. The answer depends on the stage of life that you are in. अभी मैं अगर बोलूँ तो मेरे को हमेशा खरीदना ही रहेगा. Because the first priority, मेरा भी personal goal भी है कि I want to buy a 4-bedroom apartment with a terrace in Juhu. That's my goal at this point of time. That being said, बाप के टाइम से तो बहुत फ्लैट्स आए हैं, तो प्रायोरिटी वो नहीं है. बट अगर आप एक यंग इंडिविजुअल हो, ठीक है, जिसको कोई ठिकाना नहीं है, पता नहीं उसका जॉब उसको किधर लेके जाएगा, देन डेफिनेटली रेंटिंग इज अ गुड ऑप्शन फॉर यू. डाउन पेमेंट है अगर आपके पास, और यू आर से लेट 20s, early 30s, and you know that this is the city that you're going to be there, that you're set for the next 10 years or so, then buy. Now, families के लिए priority is always to buy because they have fathers, mothers, children's education, their wives are set, and their jobs are set. So, they always prefer to buy. एक घर अपने नाम पे हमेशा होना चाहिए, भले वो किधर भी हो, मतलब कॉम्प्रोमाइज करके आपको थोड़ा ऑफिस से दूर, घर थोड़ा दूर रहेगा, चलेगा, बट वन होम शुड ऑलवेज बी देयर इन योर ओन नेम. कोविड के टाइम पे लोगों ने बहुत रियलाइज किया, लोगों के जॉब्स छूटे, द यंगस्टर्स जितने भी लोग थे, जॉब्स जिनके छूट गए, वर्क फ्रॉम होम हुआ, रेंट पे रह रहे थे, सब अपना रेंटेड घर छोड़ के अपने माँ बाप के खुद के खरीदे हुए घर में जाके रहे. So that itself should be an eye-opener for all of them, that having a home in your name is extremely, extremely important. बाद में फिर यूँ तो फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर्स के साथ बात करते रहेंगे, 24 घंटा बोलते हैं रिटर्न ज़्यादा अच्छा मिलता है, उसमें ज़्यादा अच्छा मिलता है. मैं बोले
EMI क्यों लूँ?
हाँ, बोलता है EMI से मैं 7 करोड़ के घर में रहता हूँ, मैं 1.5 लाख रुपया रेंट भरता हूँ, या मैं 3 करोड़ के घर में रहता हूँ और मैं 50,000 रेंट भरता हूँ. बोलो तो भरो ना. फिर कल जब आपको लैंडलॉर्ड बोलेगा गेट आउट, उसको 5,000 रुपया एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा रेंट पे, तभी तुम भीख मांगते रहना उससे, बोलना कि नहीं क्यों बढ़ा रहे हो. एंड देन यू विल मूव अगेन. You move from one place to another place. Easier for a single individual, whether you're a girl or a guy, to pack your bags and move out, but it's not that easy to destabilize an entire family. So that is very important.
So one primary home is a practical point of view. That it's not about economics, it's practicality. You should have one place to go to. Like in the pandemic, you finally have to go back to one home which is there, real solid home, not just rent thing where the landlord can throw you out. But there's one gentleman in India, or at least in Maharashtra, who has 2 homes near me. I had mentioned in the beginning of the show. अभी तो एक प्राइमरी होम तो हो गया, तो दूसरा होम क्यों लिया? और वो भी सेम लेन
पर वो घर से भी अगर उसका जो भी नौकरी रहेगा वो छूट गया तो उसको छोड़ना पड़ेगा ना वो घर.
मतलब दोनों?
एक घर तो उसका, एक तो खुद का ही है ना.
अच्छा.
एक घर तो उसका ही है
आपके बात. तो वो सेफ्टी के लिए एक तो रखना पड़ेगा. नौकरी गई तो गई. Okay, let's get back to real estate. Then we have some AMAs.
So you're talking to the camera, all right.
I finally found it. I was talking in the middle, so people will think we are drunk because I'm talking.
Which camera is towards me? This one's towards me. Okay, hello.
Yeah. That's it, and that's an extra one because in India.
Yeah, that's covering both of us, huh?
We have too much labor, ना. We have to give.
यही सब सीखा था मैंने. पॉडकास्टिंग में कैसा होता है, एक मेरे ऊपर, एक आपके ऊपर, एक दोनों, तो शॉर्ट फ्रेम, कट फ्रेम, कैसा करना है सब.
You must be doing a much better job because they are experienced.
No, I think these guys are pretty well. With the whole setup that you have is pretty decent.
Yeah.
And you have a bigger office also now. You were in a rat hole or something.
You were lucky to have a office burnt down, no?
अच्छा.
Primary office. So ये दूसरी office है. आपने कहा ना एक primary एक second.
You are one of the very few people who are lucky when something is burned down.
Yeah. Well, you got upgraded. A lot of scamsters were quite happy when things get burned down. Yeah, we did get upgraded. Look, I want to talk quickly because we'll run out of time. So then you moved to South Mumbai. What is the South Mumbai market? I live there and I'm very worried.
It's a good market. Don't be worried.
But during 2020, they said everything went down. Our buildings in Malabar Hill, Naples, all the prices went down.
So they've gone up now, no? They've gone up and more.
But now I heard this other story again. Again, see, I'm not from the business, but I'm telling you what I hear. And somebody told me you should not have this conversation with anyone. जब तक sale नहीं हुआ, उसका कुछ मतलब ही नहीं होता. What is the sale? In the building, X went for 40 crores. That is the price of the flat. Don't tell me what your mental thought is about the price of the flat. Ki we are asking 45,000, 85,000 a square foot jo bhi hai. So is that the way you look at it? You have to have a sale to have an actual price?
40 समझो कि X प्राइस में कोई फ्लैट गया और आप उसमें डायनामिक्स बहुत अलग होते हैं. अगर वो आपकी समझो 15 माले की बिल्डिंग है, ठीक है, आपका फ्लैट पहले माले पे है और वो जो फ्लैट बिका वो 10वें माले पे है सी व्यू के
कितना
साथ,
फर्क होगा?
बहुत फर्क होता है। वो 10वें माले से पूरा सी व्यू मिलता है, पूरा फर्निश्ड है, उसने गोल्डन सिंक डाला है, उसने
अभी जो
गोल्ड सिंक
फर्स्ट फ्लोर
डाला
पे
है।
रहता है, दे आर फीलिंग सुसाइडल। यार
वो सुसाइड भी नहीं कर सकेगा, पैर टूटेगा सिर्फ उसका। उसको Oh God!
What a loser! You feel like even that you lose at that also, boss. क्या बात करते हैं आप यार? I apologize.
But उसको उतना प्राइस नहीं आएगा, उसको थोड़ा एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा. So there are many dynamics that come when you're deciding on the price of a property. Just because a property has sold in your building for X price doesn't mean that your property will also go for that X price. It can be more, it could be less, it could be significantly less. वो डिपेंड करता है.
So after pandemic,
उसके पास पार्किंग 3 था, आपके पास 1 है.
वो सब वो अलग अलग है.
तो वो सब छोटे
Size of flat पे डिपेंड होता है अभी आज.
डायनामिक्स देखना पड़ता है ना. Everything you have to see.
If the neighbor is single and pretty, I'm talking about males, only males.
नहीं, उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है.
अभी तक आया नहीं आपके इंस्टा में, but आएगा. Going forward, you're talking to the next generation. Better get it right.
God Almighty, this is fun.
So coming back to South Mumbai, so you're saying that we're actually in a good market for buying?
It's a good market. See, buying and selling, I don't believe in these kind of sellers market or buyers market. नहीं, हाँ, I don't believe in it. हर एक मार्केट में कोई डेस्परेट सेलर होता है या कोई आदमी बैठा होएगा बहुत टाइम से बेचने के लिए, बिकॉज उसका प्राइसिंग गलत है या उसका प्रॉपर्टी में कुछ खोट है या देयर समथिंग देयर. तो you have to keep on looking out for a good fit for yourself. And at times you have to pay a little bit more if that property is fitting within all the parameters that you want. और जैसे कि वो बिल्डिंग में सब कुछ है, पार्किंग, ओसी, व्यूज, सब कुछ है, एंड इट इज अ नाइस प्रॉपर्टी, तो फिर उसका डिमांड हमेशा ज़्यादा ही रहेगा. वो डाउन मार्केट हो, अप मार्केट हो, उसको प्राइस मिलता ही हमेशा. ऐसा.
सो व्हाट यू सेइंग, इन वन बिल्डिंग वी आर नॉट गेटिंग एक यूनिफॉर्म प्राइस, वो है नहीं.
यूनिफॉर्म एक बेस मिलता है, वो बेस से फिर आप प्लस कर सकते हो, माइनस कर सकते हो.
Got it. So average price है, that's the best.
हाँ.
So okay, fine. We've learned that much. Now let's talk about the fact that can you give these tips? If I wanted to invest in Mumbai, which is now the new sort of market area to go to. अगर मेरे पास पैसा है, but I want to go to a place where I'm sure it's going to go up. जैसा they had said, BKC.
कोई श्योरिटी नहीं दे सकता है आपको कि पैसा बढ़ेगा.
पैसा बहुत है.
पैसे की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ,
श्योरिटी की बात कर रहा हूँ. एनजीओ चालू करना पड़ेगा यार. I don't do that यार. Help humanity and all. Come on. But if you go back when Parel was starting, I'm not starting. आपके time पे, I think early 2000, mid 2000.
BKC के बारे में भी आप
BKC, everybody said it's going up, and it did go up.
Yeah.
I remember Gurgaon. When we had started shooting 1999 के बाद 2001, around 20 years ago. At that point, they told us to invest. They used to shoot there a lot for MTV. And a lot of people came and said, invest. It was nothing. And in 5 years, it went through the roof here.
Correct.
So how can I...
So you have to go to upcoming areas. You have to go to areas. See, एक city रहता है. City expand कर सकता है only maximum इतना. देन उसके पेरिफेरीज जो सैटेलाइट सिटीज जो बोलते हैं, उधर फिर इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ता है, या तो जैसे नवी मुंबई हो जाता है. अगर आपको मुंबई में इन्वेस्ट करना है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द क्वांटम आपको कितना इन्वेस्ट करना है, उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. मैं पनवेल के बारे में मैं हर एक
मिनट, पनवेल, ऋषि तो पनवेल से आते हैं. डोंट टेक पनवेल एंड नॉट बी स्पेसिफिक, वी नीड टू नो. तो मार्केट अच्छा है या नहीं?
सो पनवेल में आप देखने जाओगे ना, बेस्ट वे टू रियलाइज वेयर यू शुड इन्वेस्ट इज ऑलवेज फॉलो द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. Where infrastructure is coming.
Airport.
Where airport is coming in Navi Mumbai. You have the roadways, the Trans Harbour Link Road is coming. So connectivity from that Shivri area, Wadala area will get better over there. Then you also have to see that the top developers, where are they going? Where are they buying land? You have the Reliance and the Adanis and the Hiranandanis, and you have the Vadwas. You have all of these developers who have bought huge land parcels इन पनवेल. शेदों का एग्जिट लेते हो तो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे आपको ये सब नए नए टाउनशिप्स बन रहे हैं.
सुन ऋषि, ये काम नहीं चाहिए अभी. यू आर गोइंग टू बी अ रियल एस्टेट मुगल. हाँ, तो
उधर यू गेट अपॉर्चुनिटीज एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि आज इन्वेस्ट किया तो 2 साल में डबल हो गया. 10 साल तक रुकना पड़ता है. तो आप अगर अभी 22 साल के 25 साल के हो तो फिर जितने भी साल के हो आप +10 कर दो उसको, तो ही आपको वो बेनिफिट दिखेगा और मिलेगा. नहीं तो फिर इट गेट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. मुंबई में अगर देखना,
कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट पनवेल.
I am confident about Panvel. I'm confident about the
Navi Mumbai
also, but Navi Mumbai has, I think, already
saturated slightly.
peaked up.
Picked up.
It's peaked up. Then you also have places like the Eastern Expressway जो है, विक्रोली का है, कांजुरमार का एरिया, उधर affordability अभी भी है.
Did Chembur go up with the freeway?
चेंबूर यस, चेंबूर में 18-20 हज़ार रुपए का रेट होता है, अभी 30-35 का रेट चलता है. एंड आई थिंक चेंबूर विल ऑल्सो पिक अप, वडाला विल ऑल्सो पिक अप बिकॉज योर कम्यूट will become much easier from that Panvel with the Trans Harbour Link Road. बहुत फर्क पड़ता है.
Plus you have the metros, so connectivity left, right and center should increase.
Metro should be good. Then there are other areas also like the untouched areas. वो मड आइलैंड पे काफ़ी कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है, but उसके बारे में I am not that gung-ho about it. These are the areas where land route जो गाड़ी से आप जा सकते हो ना, easy पड़ता है.
Mud Island is where we shoot, Garibo ka shoots basically. So we go there a lot, and they're basically.
It's very scenic over there. It's very pretty.
But I see the buildings are coming up.
I haven't gone there in a long time. So
it'll take you 3 days. You go to US instead. Traffic both. It's not worth it. The pain is a lot. So I'm just trying to get some key tips here for people listening also. We're looking at Panvel, Navi Mumbai. Not that anything is 100% guaranteed, let's be honest about that. But you're saying कि infrastructure की depend हो जाते हैं. Infrastructure मतलब when the plane, the aeroplane, the airport comes there or anything else comes there, etc. Makes a huge difference. And the Trans Harbour line, which you mentioned 5 times. What about in old Mumbai, like South Mumbai and all that? Is there any place which you think we can... will be a big booming area now?
South Mumbai is also too packed.
Saturated?
Yeah, it's too packed. But there is a lot of inventory which is there. A lot of new projects that have come up where you have a lot of properties. तो अगर इधर आपको कुछ इन्वेस्ट करना है, बेस्ट मुंबई शहर में अगर आपको इन्वेस्ट करना है तो एक अच्छा डेवलपर पकड़ो जिसका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड अच्छा है, जिसका नाम अच्छा है, जिसकी रिलायबिलिटी अच्छी है, और उसके साथ आप इन्वेस्ट करो प्री लॉन्च फेज में, जब उसने खुदाई भी नहीं चालू की होगी.
स्पेशल रेट्स.
हाँ, तो तभी वो लॉन्च के टाइम पे जो रेट्स देते हैं ना, दे आर वेरी लुक्रेटिव, which they want people to invest, and they understand that the person who's investing is taking a risk and on their name. तो उसकी वजह से बेस्ट
equity holder in the company in a sense.
और जब जैसे जैसे बिल्डिंग बढ़ती जाती है ना, तो और वो स्टेज पे इन्वेस्ट करने वाले लोग भी कम होते हैं. 100 में से 10 इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. तो जब बिल्डिंग जैसे जैसे बढ़ती जाती है, मोर एंड मोर पीपल कम एंड सी, इतना बन गया है, थोड़ा इसको देखना चाहिए. देन व्हेन द बिल्डिंग इज एंटायरली रेडी, देन इट गैदर्स मोर.
एक्सेप्ट फॉर द गाय ऑन द फर्स्ट फ्लोर. वो कुछ नहीं देख सकता है, वो बेचारा वो पूछता है नेबर, शर्मा जी क्या देख सकते हैं आज, बिकॉज ही कांट सी एनीथिंग. स्क्रूड देयर. बट आई गिव यू अ टिप इफ यू डोंट माइंड फ्रॉम माय साइड कि अभी ये बिल्डिंग मार्केट अगर सैचुरेट हो जाता है कभी कभी, व्हाई डोंट यू ऑल गेट इनटू पार्किंग? आई फील कि पार्किंग का बहुत बड़ा ज़रूरत है, एंड देयर इज नो क्योर, देयर इज नो इलाज फॉर इट. सो व्हाई डोंट यू स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग पार्किंग? सर डोंट लाफ.
No, it's a good idea. Parking
Thank
lots.
you.
अब अगर US और UK में जाएंगे तो फिर स्पेसिफिक पार्किंग लॉट्स बनते हैं जहाँ दे मेक अ लॉट ऑफ मनी जस्ट फ्रॉम पार्किंग लॉट्स.
Right.
बट वो भी इतना लुक्रेटिव नहीं होता है. यू हैव टू मेक समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट. आप बिल्डिंग बनाओ, नीचे एक पब्लिक पार्किंग बनाओ ना, इसमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आप इधर से भी पैसा कमाओ, उधर भी पैसा कमाओ ना, उसको बेचो और नीचे आप रेगुलर इनकम बनाते रहो.
अपना घर तो एनीवे पब्लिक पार्किंग ही है. एवरी डे वी आर फाइटिंग विद पीपल हु पार्क इन फ्रंट ऑफ द गेट. हर दिन वैसा ही है. जोमेटो के आई लव द कंपनी, बट 12 बाइक्स कम एंड पार्क राइट.
मैं आपको एक टोइंग कंपनी का नंबर देता हूँ, आप उनको फोन कर देना. वो है ना, वो कभी कभी कोई कम्युनिटी में जाता है, वहाँ एक लेडी विंडो के सामने बैठ के देखती रहती, चिल्लाती रहती, उधर पार्किंग नहीं करना, उधर पार्किंग नहीं करना.
सही है.
और वो रहते तो फोन करते हैं. मैं आपको एक नंबर दे देता हूँ.
अच्छा ठीक है, बट ये कैसा बजट किसका है? मेरा होगा यार?
नहीं, वो आपको सिर्फ फोन करने का है, वो टो करके चले जाएगा.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
So no cost to company.
Nothing. No cost to individual. Nothing.
Because that's another problem. I don't like spending money.
No, that's fine.
Please. I don't even like paying tax. I'm paying tax. But I don't like it. मैं smile करके नहीं भरता टैक्स. ऐसा करता हूँ, oh tax day. मैं ऐसा नहीं करता. I'll be honest. But we must pay tax. Tax is important. Tax and sax both. Okay, we have this section called. I wanted to ask you before we go to AM is. So now Insta. With all these people watching, what do you think जो market actual सही market है, जो interest है इसमें, how many of them are interested in real estate and how many are watching you now as enjoying Insta or in YouTube?
There are a whole bunch of them. There are a lot of aspirational buyers जो देखते हैं, बोलते कि एक दिन मैं खरीदूंगा ऐसा.
I think so. I think we have that thing like how we discussed what it's worth and all. उसमें है कुछ, we're not active buyer.
एक वो कैटेगरी होता है, फिर एक कैटेगरी होता है यंगस्टर्स जो खुद घर में रहते हैं और अपना घर कंपेयर करते हैं कि भाई कैसे, हाउ आर द अदर लिविंग. देन यू हैव you have active buyers. I have a lot of real estate brokers from all over the country who follow, and they want to know what is going on. Some are educational just to know what is going on in Mumbai city, because they want to know. Mumbai is like the high rise of the country. तो वो लोग को जानना है. Then sea views के apartments देखने हैं. Then there is one category of people, the real estate agents as well as genuine buyers. People like, who want to watch it. They like something. फिर वो लोग फोन उठाते हैं तो DM करते हैं.
Active buyer.
हाँ. DM करते हैं. They are active buyers, but they are passively sitting and watching. They don't want anyone to pick up the phone and call them. They don't want to give their number out to anyone. तो वैसे भी लोग होते हैं, देखते हैं और सीधा फोन करते हैं और बोलते हैं कि रवि, ये मैंने तेरा वीडियो देखा, ये मेरे को फ्लैट पसंद आया, इसका क्या डिटेल्स है.
भाई चांस शर्ट पसंद था.
शर्ट
कभी मेरे वीडियो देखा, शर्ट पसंद है. I mean that could happen also. Yeah.
मैं तो एक ही शर्ट पहनता हूँ.
See? Actually, yeah. Mostly, it looks like that. Sir, coming back to so I'm just trying to think, if I'm trying to buy through the thing and closing the sale, matlab, when I'm on the internet trying to get in touch with you and closing the sale, what would be the success rate, you think? I mean, is there any data?
From the time person sees the video?
They DM you to the time.
So if someone is looking to rent a property, if I put a property on rent, we usually lease it out within 7 to 10 days. And if someone is looking to buy a property, depending on the size of the property, anything which is less than 5 crores, we have a track record of closing it in 30 days.
Wow.
And the whole process, like we get offers and tokens in 30 days, but the process takes
How are you so successful? I don't understand. It's like you crack the science.
I'm very particular with the properties that I post and I work with. There is a whole due diligence that happens before I actually post the property. I ask for the documents. I ask for everything about the property, the monthly maintenance.
I know what you're saying. क्योंकि मुंबई में एक point भी है. कभी-कभी तो building है नहीं. They are selling properties which don't exist or half constructed.
The biggest issue what happens is, a person is staying in that house for 20 years. 10 साल 20 साल से रह रहा है उधर, या तो ऑफिस में जिधर भी होएगा, वो उसको एग्जैक्ट साइज नहीं मालूम होता है अपने घर का. वो बोलेगा मैंने 1000 स्क्वायर फीट है, पर जब मैं उसका अग्रीमेंट देखता हूँ तो उसके ऊपर 850 लिखा है, या 825 लिखा है, या 925 लिखा है.
Carpet area
और built up, super built up and all this. Super built up तो अभी नहीं है, but carpet area and built up अभी भी लिखते हैं, और रेरा carpet area लिखते हैं अभी. तो उसमें वो लोग का कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है. अभी बॉम्बे में जहाँ 50,000, 1 लाख, 1.5 लाख रुपया पर स्क्वायर फीट का रेट होता है, तो उसमें फिर अगर 100 स्क्वायर फीट कम हो गया तो 5 लाख का फर्क पड़ता है. अगर 150 स्क्वायर फीट का है, अगर 1 लाख रुपए का तो 10 लाख रुपए. दैट्स द मेक और ब्रेक बिटवीन अ डील. तो यू हैव टू सिट डाउन. वो जब डॉक्यूमेंट्स देखते हैं तभी ओनर से बात करते, बोलते हैं आपने तो मेरे को 1200 बोला, इधर तो 1100 लिखा है. सो योर इन्फॉर्मेशन दैट वी पुट आउट इज एक्यूरेट. ऑल दी इन्फॉर्मेशन जो भी मेरे वीडियोस होते हैं, वीडियोस में डिस्क्रिप्शन में, यूट्यूब पे हो या इंस्टाग्राम में, डिस्क्रिप्शन में पूरा लंबा चौड़ा इतना डिटेल्स लिखते हैं हम लोग, जहाँ उसका मंथली मेंटेनेंस, प्रॉपर्टी टैक्सेस भी लिखते हैं. तो जो बायर आता है उसको पहले ही सब कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन होता है, और उसको मालूम है कि ये बिल्डिंग में ओसी है नहीं है, ये कौन से फ्लोर पे है, कौन सा टाइप का पार्किंग है नहीं है, क्या है, कितनी साल पुरानी बिल्डिंग है, कितने लिफ्ट है, सब लिख देते हैं. तो जो बायर आता है उसको मालूम है कि भाई ये एकदम पका हुआ आम है. All he has to do or she has to do is come and see it with their eyes once, and then they can talk about the price. That's it. So that pre-packaged deal आता है, पूरा हाथ में आता है, आपको सिर्फ अनपैक करके.
It's like a भरोसा that you've managed to get in the market.
The due diligence has created that impression.
Okay, I'm sold. तो अभी लोनावला के अगर बात हुई तो what is the last price?
Give me your best offer.
I'll give you 2 relatives. एक खोका, एक Honda City, 7 years old, and what to do with your mother, Mikhail? Just joking. Chalo sir, ready? This is the AMAs from people who actually follow this podcast.
AMAs ask me anything.
Ask me anything. Or in Tamil, it's mom. Okay, these are slightly above my pay grade. You'll have to answer. What is a smart ownership flat? Can you give an overview on it? And should people be allowed to buy a second home at holiday destinations as it leads to hike in land rates? Because obviously the local villages are not able to purchase a property, etc., etc.
You'll have to split this question for me.
So pehla, what is a smart ownership flat?
Okay, smart ownership is basically fractional ownership. It's by a company called Alive. It's a startup company started by a gentleman by the name of Saurabh Vora and Karan Chandok. All right, so Saurabh Vora used to be the co-founder of No Broker. and Karan Chandok has always been in second homes. So fractional ownership में basically क्या है कि आप पूरा घर 10 जन के साथ मिलके खरीदते हो.
Wow.
एक company
Strangers.
Yeah, complete strangers. So there's a private limited company that purchases the property, all right? And then you buy the shares of that private limited company.
Oh.
So and that company holds only that property. So by the fact that you own the shares of the company, you own shares
Pure
of the
asset
property.
hai.
Pure asset, nothing else.
I like this idea because it's also 1/10 of the price.
1/10 or 1/8 of the price, and you get rental income. So second homes रहता है ना?
1/8 of the rental income.
हाँ. तो उस हिसाब से आपको मिलता है. You can expect returns from 6%, 7%, 8% depending on the property, and you also get capital appreciation over a period of time. Now,
So no tax?
the tax is always going to be there.
Damn you, yaar! When will you be
So
taxed?
the taxman is never going to leave you.
Oh, damn it. Okay, should people be allowed to buy a second home at holiday destinations as it leads to a hike in land rates because of which the local villagers are not able to purchase property for themselves? Slightly socialist angle, but fair enough.
Most of the people selling are the local villages.
Villagers, but the others get angry that they've sold out and their land is
तो ये
gone.
गोवा में बहुत experience किया था मैंने. When I went to Goa first,
I heard that कि local issue is a big issue there.
yeah, गोवा में मैं गया था तो फिर a lot of when the videos were posted, a lot of the comments came from the local guys. अरे गोवा को बर्बाद कर रहे हो, बॉम्बे के आए हो, दिल्ली के आए हो, सब आए हो. But
Who's selling?
yeah, बेच रहे थे आपके locals ही तो बेच रहे हैं. हम लोग के पास तो है नहीं. We are coming from other places to buy the property. Now, what I can say is that you can argue on the fact of sustainability of that location. Like Goa is beautiful. You want the rice fields to be maintained, you want the mountains, and you want the tree cover to be maintained. So you can talk about sustainability and development, but you cannot stop someone from selling or you cannot stop someone from buying. If they're willing to buy, if they want to enjoy the property, the location, then might as well. Just do it sustainable.
I think people has worried कि urbanization जो है, there's no way to stop
नहीं
it.
होना चाहिए in fact. वही तो बोलता
How do
हूँ. तो do it in a proper manner, ना? Do it, and उससे एक और advantage होता है. When the supply is less, the demand is more. Your property prices
Price
are also
goes up.
increasing.
Yeah, very sad truth. Okay, let's go to Cold Monk. What's the most expensive property? Can you talk like this? So these are
Old
specific-
monk or cold monk?
Oh, Cold Monk. This is comedians है ना?
अच्छा.
Out of work comedians, there's so many. Have you not noticed? Every joker in the world puts a name there. Cold Monk, and a lovely guy though. What's the most expensive property you have sold and to whom? Are you allowed to answer this? I don't know. And is the entire trend of realities on Instagram helping the biz get actual clients? Which you sort of answered. First part, what is the most expensive property and who did you sell it to? At least what is you can say?
It's an entire building I've sold.
Okay. कहाँ पे लोकेशन तो बता.
अंधेरी में बेचा है, फिर
परेल में भी, लो परेल में भी.
नहीं लो पर में, पर हम लोग को बहुत प्रॉपर्टीज आते रहते हैं. There were a lot of times then sea facing properties हैं हम लोग के, जो हम लोग ने बेचे हैं. तो there are many of there. Quantum is all 30, 40 and above.
और कोई celebrity clients?
बहुत है.
हाँ. So who is the person who bought this
वो
building?
नहीं बोलूँगा.
Please यार.
नहीं सर.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll say names. You say हाँ, yes. तो आप कॉफ करो. खांसी के आवाज. Like that. That's it. A for Amitabh. We'll start like that. We'll go down. Huh? Ranbir. यार, come on.
Sir, privacy बहुत important है sir. Client privacy is the most important thing.
Any gangsters? Not at all.
Tea is good. Shout out to Gupta ji.
Big Slow says, buy a house on EMI versus live on rent and invest balance money in SIP. So we'll just take the last bit. Is the money being frozen when you do that? When you buy a house on EMI versus live on rent?
So अगर आपके पास there was a client who had come to me, had said, I have around 30-40 lakhs and I want to invest that into a property. I want to use that as a down payment. Then उसको मैंने बोला कि आपका क्या requirement है? Based on what she told me, I told her, wait for 3 to 5 years, take that money and invest into the financial instruments. And once you come up with a bigger corpus, after maybe 4 years, 5 years, then come and invest into a property. She already had one. तो मैंने बोला रुक जाओ अभी. Now, if someone is coming to me and saying that I have 20%, I have 30% down payment, I have a significant amount of down payment, they're looking for a 2-bedroom apartment, say in Andheri, for 2.5 crores, and they have 1 CR corpus ready capital, then I would tell them buy. As long as your long-term goal is to stay there as an end user. If you're thinking that you're going to take that money, put it on rent, offset the EMI with the rent that you're going to... No, don't do that.
Invest in SIPs. Okay. This is Priyanka Chopra ka... Sorry. No? चाय पियो ये एक अलग पॉडकास्ट होना चाहिए. You just give us names यार. It'll be so much fun and then they have to match the building. विराट कोहली match the building.
उसका मैं बिल्डिंग का नाम बोल सकता हूँ. He stays in Judara Road.
नाम क्या है?
बिल्डिंग का? हाँ. लेफ्ट लेके राइट हैंड साइड पे दूसरी या तीसरी बिल्डिंग है, नाम भूल गया. कटरीना कैफ भी वही बिल्डिंग में रहती है.
वाओ.
दोनों रेंट पे रहते हैं.
बीबी सुन तो सही. How quickly he can't remember the name of the building, but he remembered Katrina Kaif as the neighbor on the spot. Well done, sir. 2 points. Abbas asks how to earn enough money to afford a house in Mumbai. Now, what kind of question? Especially if your field is podcasting. Come on.
किसने पूछा ये क्वेश्चन आपको?
I don't want.
Did you just type this for yourself and send it to yourself?
There is a Chinese word called chu ati ya, and that explains this.
What is this?
Yeah. This is from Shakuni. How to convince parents to stop looking at real estate as the only investment? Unfair question to you slightly, but well, let's put it this way. Again, growing up, you said you're 44 and I'm 52 and we are from the same batch. But growing up, everybody thought invest in real estate.
Correct.
Is that still true?
Yes.
Such mein?
Yes.
So if you have extra money and enough money, you're saying go for real estate above?
It should always be a part of your investment portfolio.
हाँ.
आपको 75% के साथ गेम खेलना है, गेम खेलो. आपको कुछ भी करना है, स्टॉक्स में डालना है, बॉन्ड्स में डालना है, कोई भी स्टार्टअप्स में डालना है. बट अगर 25% आपका हमेशा स्टॉक्स रियल एस्टेट में होना चाहिए, वेदर इट इज योर फ्रैक्शनल ओनरशिप, वेदर इट्स रीट्स और वेदर इट्स सम काइंड ऑफ अ प्रॉपर्टी दैट यू वांट टू बाय एनीवेयर इन द कंट्री, देन इट शुड बी देयर. It's a balanced portfolio. Real estate के बिना काम नहीं होता है.
Okay, I have one personal question because I know we're running out of time and we have to end fast. My wife may have a property in South Rasta in Planet Godrej. That's not gone up that much, yaar. We were hoping when we had bought it about 8-9 years ago that it would go up, but abhi bhi wo same price pe hai ya thoda sa 5% increment.
First floor पे है.
Second. Marcus up. Second, na? Third floor पे. Third, हाँ.
मेरे को एक बार दिखाओ, मैं आपको सजेशंस दूंगा how to improve.
विराट कोहली और कटरीना कैफ जैसा क्लाइंट्स है
तो क्या हुआ?
स्मॉल 2-bedroom हाउस.
सर हम सब करते हैं, हम 1 bedrooms भी करते हैं, हम मल्टीपर्पज सब कुछ करते हैं.
And you treat all clients the same?
Equally.
Really?
Yeah. See, your money is very important to you, whether it's 1 crore or 100 crores.
Correct.
So I treat you that way.
It's not even my money, it's what owed to me by the family. Ravi, it's been great talking to you as we end the podcast. What else can we expect on Insta and YouTube now? Now that you enter that world, are you going to have item numbers and people coming and chatting and all?
Oh, नहीं बाबा, वो मेरे से नहीं होता है. वो नहीं होता है. It's mostly going to be all education.
Not after this experience.
No, this is fun.
Yeah.
But it will be more about properties and it will be more about educational stuff and my thoughts on what is happening in the real estate industry. There are a lot of things that happen on a daily basis and I want to give my Vishesh Tippanis, my thoughts about the way, the direction of the industry, the real estate industry is going. I want to do some podcasts of my own also, get developers, talk to them, get some politicians also and tell them, sir, ये रास्ते कब ठीक होंगे?
और दूसरा घर क्यों चाहिए?
हाँ.
I mean, you said you should have if you have the money. But
नहीं, अगर जैसे आपके जो घर के सामने वाले जो नेबर है ना,
बाजू वाला बोल,
जो नेबर है ना, कभी उनसे भी बात करने को मिला अपॉर्चुनिटी तो पूछेंगे.
हाँ, really.
आपका क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा उनको.
नहीं, because that's one question people ask. Some people have too much property. If there's such a thing.
It's no such thing as too much property.
Okay. So buyers market, sellers market forever. Invest in real estate. Our last word.
Correct.
Whatever happens. Ravi, please check him out. He's on Insta. He's on YouTube. He's a sensation. He's changed the market. He's a game changer. Very modest guy, so he won't say so much about himself. But he's actually a game changer. The whole business has changed. He's brought glamour into brokering, basically selling flats. And made it into, who knows, the whole generation will follow you now. Apparently, we already saw a couple of copycats. I won't mention them.
Okay.
Yeah, but they are there out there. Don't worry, we'll take care of them. Sparsh, देखना. Send 2 boys. Abbas and Silvery को भेजो. 5 minute की बातचीत के बाद they'll themselves jump from first floor. Nothing to worry about. Ravi, sorry to bother you with this horrible podcast, but
no, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Goodbye.